Yeah, we're getting ready to get in the conference play. And obviously got to continue to work to get better. But I like we had a good week of practice. I like where we're at right now, and we're in a good mind space considering we're the position that we're in. But um, all of that right now will go away with a W. We'll be 1-0 and first place in the conference.
Coach Jameson, what's the status on him? I mean, he's got 3 balls, 15 yards,
Yeah,
preseason, all everything, and he was supposed to be the guy for your receiving core, and he's disappeared.
yeah. A lot of them have. If you kind of we struggle on offense or offensive system is a little different. It's a systematic offense. You get going and guys just get the ball right. At the end of the day, it's hard even for me over the years when I was a coordinator when coaches would say get this guy the ball. Besides a screenplay, you can't guarantee anybody a pass. And you could try to scheme some things up, but they can ultimately take them away at the end of the day. And that's one of the things you don't see with the exception of something like that. So I think you felt it in the game when we kind of got in that rhythm. The ball was kind of being sprayed around. We were hitting the outside guys, the inside guys, and things of that nature. And um, that's just kind of how that goes in terms of the rotation, trying to rotate the guys in and out, keeping them fresh, find out who's hot, who's not, kind of like running back. Um, but we have to be more efficient offensively, and I think you'll feel it more.
But when you want I mean, this is a guy that's coming off one of the better seasons here in
Yeah.
Coastal, and I mean, it would just make sense that you would try to get him the ball as much as you can. But he's just not getting it thrown to. I mean, he's got 3 grabs all year.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of guys like that. I mean, in terms of the whole offense. I mean, if I brought in every receiver and they sat down and you asked, do you like how many catches you got and the ball's thrown at you, they'd probably all say no, at the end of the day. There's one football, and you have to run your offensive system, right, at the end of the day. And within the offensive system, the guys find the catches. They just do, right? And right now, he's not. I mean, it's just not going that way at this point. I mean, it's been that way for other guys. And I don't know the stats. I don't look at all that stuff. So I don't know how many catches Carmelo has or Colton has or Eli has or Malik has. I don't know where those guys are at in comparison. I just know that we haven't been efficient offensively. So that group obviously is struggling a little bit with the opportunities, right? They don't want the opportunities. They'll feel like they could help. And we're trying to correct that. We're trying to get that to be where we could start clicking and the ball gets sprayed around to everybody.
What steps has Tad taken in the quarterback room in general this week? You mentioned having a good week of practice. What have the steps been to making sure you guys
Well,
can
I mean, the first thing is you got to remember, like 2 weeks ago, he was throwing to the third and fourth string receivers, and now he's got to build that continuity in an offense that has some route adjustments, right? That was the second interception, right? Robbie saw a cloud and sat it. Tad saw cover three and thought he was going to break out, and they were not on the same page. That happens with continuity, right? And playing and running it and doing it and having that quarterback throw the ball to those receivers and gain confidence in them, right? Who's the guy can throw slants to or goes to or whatever that may be. And it's hard. We actually checked 2 go balls. It's not like we're putting that guy in and say, throw the go ball to this guy. We're going to put this guy in the game. That's not what happens. We go out there, he sees the coverage, he checked it and threw it. Whoever's in is in at that point. And that happened twice in the course of the game. That's the offense. That's how the offense works. And um, we have to get Tad with those guys more, and they have to be with him more to feel all of that. Hey, did you see what I saw here? That's why I sat it down. Oh, hey, I kept on the move on this route because it was this and I saw this. And hey, I need you to break here. And when you turn, I'm going to put the ball on your outside shoulder, and that's where the ball's going to go. I mean, think about it. There were professional players, professional pitchers, I think, of baseball a lot. I use a lot of analogies of that. There was like certain guys when they would pitch, they had to have their own catcher. Well, the other guy couldn't catch. I know, but like that was his guy. He felt comfortable with that guy catching. He knew him. He knew how to call a game, and that a little bit in this offense is like that because there's a lot of freedom with respect to route running and where you go with the ball.
Coach, in terms of calling plays, is there a sense that maybe you need to maybe take a little bit off in terms of letting Tad grow a little bit more in this offense? Is that kind of the atmosphere? Because I mean, I would assume that when you say going back to the drawing board, that pretty much erases 8 months of what you guys have been able to doing on the off season. You got two months of what you guys have been doing leading up to where we are right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking 8 months in a system that you guys have been working on, and then all of a sudden we're going back to the drawing board. I mean, that can't be helping an offense at all when they're hearing their coach say we got to go back to the drawing board because it's not working.
Well, right. And what I mean by that in terms of details, fundamentals, what can we do well? What are we doing well right now? Right? You could have all the plays and you want, and you could call them all, but if we're not executing them, maybe let's take that one out right now. Let's get good at these. We're pretty good at these. Let's get better at these. Let's make sure we're executing at those, and let's move this one aside right now. Or hey, how do we help the O-line? How do we help Tad? How do we help the receivers? Do we got to get in bunch and snug? Do we got to motion something? Like all of those things within the offense that we have, maybe that's the focal point, right? Take those type of things to enhance, take those things to be able to help our offense as opposed to just lining up and go, let's just go. Because that's insanity. If we continue to just do the same thing over and over again and expect different results, that's the definition of insanity. But we're not in panic mode either. We're not blowing the whole thing up and going to run the triple option again. Like, we're not doing that. So there's a happy medium. Like, Tad's really good at these type of plays. Let's make sure he's really good at those. Let's get that receiving core really good at those plays, right? We don't need 10 of them. Maybe it's 6 of them. And let's get really good at those 6 plays, right? Hey, maybe let's add this one because this is going to help whatever, the running back, or this is going to help in protection, or this is going to be a better run play. And that's part of the going back. Like, what have we done so far well, early, efficiently, and build on that, right?
When looking at South Alabama, what are some of the things that stick out?
I mean, they're an athletic team, certainly. They're very similar to us. They've had some tough games. Offensively, their quarterback runs them. He's gotten better every week. He's done a good job. They're going to run the football. That's what they want to do. They want to run it. Defensively, they're multiple up front. They're big and athletic. And then, in the secondary, they play multiple coverages. So it'll be a good game. Very challenging. I respect Major. He's a really good coach. And they play hard. And, it's going to come down to who doesn't turn the ball over.
Speaking of their running game, what kind of challenges Bullock presents out of the backfield?
Yeah, I mean, he's a very patient runner. He seems to always be falling forward. When you tackle him, he's got really good vision, good speed. We got to gang tackle him for sure.
Coach, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
A couple coaches got let go this week. UCLA and Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
After poor starts, do you have any concerns about your job security?
I'll be honest. Like, we sign up for this at the end of the day, right? And my job is to do the best I can every day, and that's what our players deserve. They deserve my best. If it's not good enough, it's not good enough. I don't make that call. That's other people above my head, and I don't worry about that. Like, at the end of the day, so I enjoy being out on the grass. I enjoy being with our players. Everybody has their opinion. And I'm just going to keep coaching until I don't coach, whenever that is at some point in my career.
Coach, if you're a fan and you're watching the product on the field and you're paying the money to come watch you guys, what sense can you get that's going to change their mind that the product's going to get better from an offensive standpoint, or are you thinking as a fan, well, I've seen it 3 weeks in a row and I don't see any progress? So how do you take it as a fan's perspective to where they're going to want to spend money to come watch you guys play, but also understanding too that after 3 weeks, it hasn't been what I'm paying $200, $300 to come see?
Yeah, as a fan, I don't know. You know what I mean? I know for me as a coach, it's faith, right? It's and what I mean by that is I know we're doing the right things, and I know we're really, really close. I know that if we don't turn the ball over, those outcomes in these games are probably different. I know that we're playing well defensively. I know that our special teams has gotten better, and even offensively, even though we didn't score and things didn't go well, we had rhythm. We had, I thought Tad played exceptional. I thought he played he like every player probably in a game and every coach in a game. There's probably 5 plays you wish you had back, right, at the end of the day. But I think that he showed we could win with them, and we have to rally around him. We have to be better at other places in the game. But as far as like how to tell people, it just takes time, and it's just a process of football. Like, it's hard to snap your fingers and just get what you want all the time, and you got to work for it. And we're in that mode right now. We've and again, nobody wants to hear it because nobody cares, and rightfully so. But we're battling through injuries. We're battling through position changes. Like, we're battling through a lot of things right now as we're going through that. And so I have faith. I see it in our players. Our players believe. They continue to work hard. They continue to enjoy being here, enjoy being around each other. And that's all you can ask for. And at the end of the day, when these guys go out there and play, that you've done your very best to get them ready to play, and that they believe in it, and they go out there and play as hard as they can. We're never going to play a perfect game. We're not going to do that. And the parity in football now is so much greater than it ever has been at any other time in college football at each level, right? I think there's a separation between levels, but in each level, there's a lot of parity. And so we're right where every other Sun Belt team is. I think, 10 teams or 9 teams, 10 teams or 1 and 2 heading in the league. And again, we don't turn the ball over this week, and we play like we've been playing and play hard and find ways to create some explosive and big plays on offense and win. We're 1-0 in first place in our league. So our goal is to win the Sun Belt Conference Championship.
You talked about injuries. Can you elaborate a little bit on who's have you
Yeah,
lost anybody?
Yeah, like we haven't played Heston Edwards at guard, who started the first game, hasn't played the last 2 games. Anthony Walton started against Virginia at guard. He hasn't started the last 2 games. Zach Courtney's been out most of the year. We lost Kane Barong at tight end. Brooks Johnson's probable for the game, but he did not play last game at tight end. We have a couple probable running backs right now. Luke Murphy didn't play at linebacker. Those are probably, I know there's a couple others, but those are just some guys that you're dealing with. And offensively, when you lose your tight ends, it makes it a lot harder. You're down. Josh Humes is battling injury, so he didn't finish the game last game. That's why we're in a lot of 10 personnel and 20 personnel. The only tight end we had at the time was Brown Reeves. And Brown's a tremendous young player with a huge upside, but he's not ready to play 50, 60 snaps in a college football game yet.
Time for one last question, guys. You guys good?
All good?
Thanks,
Thanks,
Coach.
Coach.
You got it. Thank you.